Hey, hey, we're back with the World Series. It's the GT3 Cup round number 6. Still running the GT driver career theme in 2025. 3 more rounds to go. Today it's Daytona. Hell yeah. 60 minutes at the road track in GT3 Group 3 machinery. Have a quick look at the current championship standings after 5 rounds. So it's a back and forth between Beetlejuice and Oscar. I think those two will fight for the title until the very end. And have Richie and River P3, P4 Shelty also still in contention somewhat. Sluxy, yeah, they had to miss the last round, so dropped to P6. Still also in the mix, I think, for the podium. What about B Racing? Had some better races, and last 2 rounds, can he continue that trend? That will be the question. Alright, starting qualifying soon, so let's inform our drivers. Lovely day at Daytona, sunny, warm. There's no nighttime race or a change, but still interesting to see the slipstream effect, the famous Le Mans chicane, or it was known as the bus stop. Don't get too many penalties. Then the invisible turn, number 1 wall, also something to monitor. The infield with the 2 horseshoes. Track high speed and a slower infield. Alright, let's get into the qualifying then. 10 minutes as always. On 30 liters initial fuel. Times 1 tire wear and fuel consumption. It will be the racing soft tires then for the drivers for this session or the race. We'll see if someone will actually use the soft, so will they go for medium all the way? It's a choice for the race then. Now it will be qualifying 10 minutes, so 144, 145s, I don't know, maybe around that area. Lap times. The driver should get 5 flying laps in at least. Maybe we will also see some of the drivers pitting midway through the qualifying, getting some fresh softs. Alright, so Sluxy leading this qualifying crew. B Racing in the Porsche Dashi is back in the mighty Beetle. The Nick in the McLaren. On track we see Shelty in his white and green Alfa Romeo for C. River in the trusty Lexus RCF. Richie with the last minute racing Nissan GTR. We saw that car last weekend, 24-hour race, IRO season finale. With the quadrillion decals on that one. Oscar in the correct C7. Beetlejuice the Aston Martin Vantage V12 car, and Taz today using a very colorful livery on that BMW. So here we go. Sluxy is on the first flying lap into turn number 1. No drama. 2, 3 into the international horseshoe. Burst of the hairpins. Gain the run. Little bit of the curb use, that's okay. Little kink, flat, and we brake for the western horseshoe. Throttle control. And now the important turn, we get back onto the oval, avoid the oversteer on exit. And a little bump. And now we go flat out. Oval time. It is through the banking. We go, and it's the run up towards the Le Mans chicane. You look at the flag marker between the 2 and the 1 as your reference. You go through the chicane. Focus on the exit. Don't touch the grass on the inside. This looked okay, and now it's the long run through the second banking on the track, past the penalty zone and the pit entry, and across the line we see the first 146 coming for Sluxy. He racing with the 46.3 Dashi, 49. Big 47 Shelty up to P3 Richie on top with a 45.7 currently. Where's River 52 with a penalty probably, or a little mistake. So we wait for Oscar in the Corvette. Comes round. Can he beat that 45.7? 45.5. What about our championship leader? So this should be like the best track for the Aston Martin. We'll see. 46.5 at the moment. And last driver to set a lap time on the first run will be Tess. Won't be competing for pole. Starting with a 48, that would be P8 for now. So after first blood, we see Oscar. Provisional pole, Richie P2, Sluxy P3, and P Racing P4. P Racing with a 1 second penalty. This might be a good idea to pit now. Change tires. That next lap will be wasted as well. Sluxy improved, I think, to a 45.6. That is on to the front row provisionally. Riverocus improving. P7 in the Lexus. What about Oscar? He is close to his personal best. A little bit down, but it could be a good run out of the Le Mans chicane. Stay with the Corvette, and it's a 45.6, close to it. Beetle right behind on track. .2 up to P4 it is. So this lap won't be very fast, I think, with that penalty in the first sector, so getting out of the way. Let's have a look at Shelty, who gets a nice bit of a toe heading into the Le Mans chicane, nearly 9/10. That could be good for row number 2. Now just keep it stable in those MR cars through chicane. I don't think yet the exit speed. Oh, still. Oh, and there goes the lap. Half a second. Lost. That was unlucky. We would have been up there with Oscar and Sluxy, I think. It might still be an improvement. 46.5. That is P6 River with a 46.8. E7 Dashi up to a 47.2, and he's leading kind of a slipstream train with Richie. Good first sector. Oscar with a 45.3. Richie getting closer. Beetlejuice up to P3. Dashi lost a little bit. Go to see Richie. You might be picking up a little bit of a toe. So can he improve? No, not this lap. Well, we'll stay with Dashi. Just over a minute to go in the qualifying. Looked like a nice run, and is improving. A low 47, maybe a high 46 is possible. .1. Sluxy still in P2. Oscar with nearly 2.5 tenths the gap with Beetle. P3 for now. 30 seconds to go, so he should be good to do one more lap. Little improvement. Can he put the Aston on the front row alongside his championship rival? Needs to find a 10th. And he crosses the line and just... yeah, it is a 45.6. So up to P2. Final lap now for the drivers in this 10-minute qualifying session. Can Sluxy retake P2? He's 3/10 down, so he won't be improving. Richie with a moment, damage on the car. He's out of contention for a better qualifying position. What about B Racing? 2/10 up. Could be promising, and Shelty as well, heading into the chicane. Did he stay within track limits this time? He's 2/10 down. So probably won't be improving. Let's go to the Porsche. E-Racing was up. Can he get into the 1 minute 45s? Doesn't have any slipstream. It's a 45.9. It is P5 at the moment. Here comes River improving. Personal best 46.6. That is P7. Nick still running half a second down. Won't be improving. What about Beetle? 3/10 down. No improvement. Oscar finished as well. It looks like we have no one on a flying lap. Oh, it is Nick, of course. 47.5 stays in P8. Dashi with a penalty won't be improving, and Taz finished the session as well with a 48.5, the best time. Let's quickly have a look at the quali results. Oscar with another 8 points for pole. Beetlejuice scoring 5 and Sluxy P3 for the qualifying. And P4 it is Richie in the Nissan, B Racing and Shelty and all TCR row number 3. A German one with River Rockers and Nick. Row number 4 and row number 5 we have Dashi and Taz. The German manufacturers Volkswagen and BMW. Right, so 2 minutes and then we'll start round number 6. So settings, as always, the in-game BOP is used. The drivers can adjust the downforce settings as well as the brake balance for the race. It will be 60 minutes. A standing start with forward start check. The racing softs and the racing medium tire compounds are available. There's no mandatory tire to use though. We have tire wear set to ×3 and the fuel consumption set to ×2. We can actually bring up the lobby settings, right? So it's late morning, sunny conditions, no drama. We have set the tire wear and the fuel. We have light mechanical damage. It is 8 liters per second. The fueling speed, and yeah, that's all we need to know. And let's get the race on the way. Right, the start. Probably the Supra will have a bit of a struggle to stay in P3, and turn 1 always a tricky one off the line. Nevertheless, let's get into round number 6, GT3 Cup. And here we go. Good luck, everybody. Oh, Richie is on the softs. River's on the softs. And Taz is on the softs. The rest is using the medium tire compound. And it's green. We're on the way. The Corvette with a massive start. As expected, Sluxy loses a position to Richie, who is on the soft tires as well. Shelty with a good start in the 4C into turn number 1 we go. And already something happened. There was contact between Dashi and the racing CEO. That looked weird. Really weird. Not much room on the inside. The invisible wall also had the first visit. So we have E-Racing and Dashi at the back of the grid. Taz in P8. Nick in the 7th position. River up to P6. Shelty in P5. Sluxy P4. Richie P3 challenging Beetlejuice and Oscar. So out of the infield, and there's not much of a gap. Now between Oscar and the Beetle for the first time getting into the Le Mans chicane. Good run so far. All the drivers. Now we will probably see that Supra flying past the Nissan. Or will we see a bump draft? Yeah. Trying to close the gap to the front runners already. River versus Shelty, late on the brakes. Into turn number 1 we go. And River with that move right behind Slugsy. So Oscar and Beetle 1, 2, 4 tenths. Then that bump drafting helped Richie to get back into slipstream range. Slugsy struggling a little bit out of the slow corners to keep up with the GTR. River in P5 getting a nice bit of a toe in the RCF. Shelty P6. Then we have the first bigger gap to Nick in P7. 2 seconds in the McLaren. Another 2 seconds to Taz in that BMW. And next up, it is Speed Racing with a comeback drive needed. 3.5 seconds at the moment. And Dashi in P10, 2.3 seconds. That gap. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on that, see if anything changes. Purple it is, but it's lap 2, so don't get too excited that early through the chicane for the second time of asking. It's still Oscar leading, Beetlejuice P2, Richie P3. Richie with a mighty run coming out of the chicane. He doesn't have the legs, I think, to go around the Aston all by himself. So now he's going for the bump draft. Maybe open up a gap to Slugsy and River behind. It is 1.3. No, 1.1. Good evening, Zach. Hello. Richie with a different strategy. He's on the softs, on the top runners. The rest is River as well on the softs, but Oscar, Beetlejuice and Slugsy on the mediums at the moment. So ideally Richie needs to make some moves on the soft tires. I don't know, like, if you can do softs, probably not in the 60-minute race with time 3 tire wear. So maybe the medium tire runners can go for medium softs for 1 stop. Probably Richie going for a 2-stop or soft. And could be, but I don't have a clue, to be honest. Oh, Oscar with a massive moment. Cut the grass, loses at least 1 position, maybe 2. Yeah, Richie with more speed. And he gets 1.5 second penalty on top. Ouch. He's gonna have to serve it next lap as well. So that is a big one. And Richie on the inside sends it on Oscar. Can they go through turn 1? Yes, they can. Oscar probably also not too sure about his tires. He was with all 4 tires off track, so he's very careful. Dirt on the tires for turn 1, so down to P3. At the moment under pressure, Slugsy right behind. No, that could be massive for that fight for the win for Oscar. That 1.5 second will slow him down massively. So we will be dropping out of slipstream. Maybe he can work together with Shelty. Then so it will be P5. P6-ish for Oscar when he serves the penalty. So Nick in 7th. Tess in 8th. B-Racing closing that gap to Tess. 1.5 getting into slipstream range, and Dashi trying to stay with the pack as well. Need to go back to the front. Now this is where we see now the outcome of that 1.5 second penalty. Yes, Oscar will have to serve it now. Coming round. And Sluxy says thank you, so does the River. And Shelty now gets into the slipstream range, less than a second with the run. And Oscar defending it for now. But yeah, as expected, 2+ seconds, 2.5 it is. Roughly coming out of turn number 1. Tess versus Nick. Heading into the International Horseshoe. They go a little bit side by side racing action. McLaren versus BMW. Still the inside line for the German driver in the McLaren. Tess from the outside. Can they go side by side? Tess needs to lift a little bit. Has the inside line down for the Western Horseshoe. Goes on to the brakes, defends the apex, and keeps that apex for now. Tess is on the soft tire compound. Nick on the mediums. So for now, grip advantage for the BMW. B-Racing on his mediums. Little moment, and it's not a penalty probably as well. Gives Dashi the opportunity maybe to bring that gap down even more. At the front, Beetlejuice now trying to pull a gap. It's 1.2. Richie needs to find a bump drafting partner again to not lose contact. Sluxy wasn't close enough after the chicane, so that's why the gap goes up. And Sluxy might have to run into turn number 1. Oh, he gives Richie still a little nudge. So sends him a bit too deep for Richie. He loses that position to Sluxy. Now what about River? They go side by side. And River up to P3. So Richie from P2 down to P4. I see the tire wear kicking in now. Oscar 2 seconds behind the gained 2/3 on that lap. Shelty staying with him. Shelty can stay close and might give Oscar a little bit of a bump shaft as well. So it's not over yet for Oscar. Under 2 seconds to gap to Richie. Nick got to pass Tess again. With B-Racing joining the party soon. 1.2, 1.3 coming out of the infield section onto the oval again. Purple for B through the first 2 sectors, and he gets a tow from Tess, who didn't get the best exit by the looks, so still benefits from the slipstream. Into the Le Mans chicane we go. Oh, another tire. B-Racing is flying now. Ooh, that was close. Nearly lost the car on exit. Lost the purple. It is Beetlejuice now for a brief moment out of slipstream range. 1.3 now before turn number 1. Good news for Oscar. He has closed the gap to Richie and is back in contention, at least for the podium. So the gap to Beetlejuice 4.8 at this stage, our race leader. As soon as he gets into the stronger part of the slipstream, he will be gaining. Pretty sure about that. So this is where the Supra struggles a little bit on initial acceleration. So advantage for Beetlejuice. B-Racing got past Taz up to P8. Next on the list will be Nick. Dashi, keep in. The drivers in front on us, just 2 seconds. So one little mistake, one little penalty. And he's also right in the mix for this fight. So basically 2 groups at the moment. P1 to P6 and P7 to P10. Better run for B-Racing coming out of the chicane. Nick stays high. Tries to tuck into the slipstream range. Taz also within the toe, and Dashi trying to get into that one. Nick tried to go for it. Racing defending it. Ooh, late braking into turn number 1. An opportunity for Taz. He's with them. The lead group. We still have 1.5. Oh, and something happened. Suddenly we have a big gap to River. Oh, 2.5 seconds. So this means we have the Beetlejuice and Slugsy at the front, separate by 1.5 seconds. Then River, Richie and Oscar, the next 3 to fight for the podium probably. Oscar with a good run. Let's have a look at Richie's tires. We are 14 minutes in roughly. Softs, that's 50% down. So looks like 20 minutes are doable on the softs. So this will also be like then the battle of the strategies. The medium tire runners will probably go for 40-ish minutes and then 20 to finish the race, while the soft tire runners maybe go aggressive, soft, two-stopper or soft to medium. We'll find out now. Oscar around the outside, more speed in that Corvette, and moves up into P4. The gap between River and Slugsy 2.6, 2.5. Also development for Beetlejuice. He's out of slipstream range now, 1.7, 1.8. Now it's a question, will it be also a bit of a tire saving and fuel saving race for the drivers? We don't know. This is definitely a close battle for P3, River, Oscar and Richie. How long can he keep up on his softs? River is also using the softs for the start of the race. Shelty lost contact, now is 2.6 at the moment. B-Racing put a nice little gap to Taz and Nick, who are fighting for that P8 against each other. Ooh, the rear stepping out, and another side-by-side action heading into the Le Mans chicane. Who has the better top end? It looks like for now it will be the McLaren. Taz into the slipstream range. And the gap to Dashi, 3 seconds. It looks like Dashi had a little moment. He was closing that gap. Nearly caught them. Ooh, again, flirting with the track limits on the exit of the chicane. It was okay. He had a massive run, 2.6 Tess himself got a penalty, fortunately, so this could play into Dashi's hands now. Bringing that gap down to 2 seconds. Great lap. Slugsy bringing that gap down again, trying to sneak into the slipstream. Where is Richie? Richie 2.5 now. So it's a bit of an elimination race, and who can keep up with that relentless pace at the front? Can River defend that position from Oscar? River on now, what's that? 60% maybe wear on his softs versus Oscar on the mediums. Feel like we have reached the crossover point. Out of the chicane. This could be a nice setup for Sky D Corvette. Gaining the slipstream. This looks like it will be a move into turn number 1. Or will we see a bump draft? No. Before the start-finish line, Oscar gets back onto a podium spot. He's P3 now, 3.5 the gap to Slugsy, who still keeps Beetlejuice honest. 1.7, keeping that gap very stable. It is. Yeah, exactly. Curtis, that GTR Richie put a lot of effort into that livery. but then it is, yeah, just not fast enough in a straight line, this car, without any slipstream help. So Richie is a little bit of a sitting duck. Now the tires now pretty much done, I reckon. So this should be the in lap, I reckon, for Richie. Shelty on his mediums. Will be going for a bit longer. So will it be medium for the medium runners or medium softs? This is still a question I cannot answer yet. Can they trust the softs? If so, for how long? Roughly 20 minutes seem to be the limit. Starting lap 12, we have Beetlejuice 1.5, 1.6, 2 Slugsy. Yeah, River coming in, going for, let's see what they have in mind. Another set of softs, or it's the mediums. So Oscar, after that big moment where he lost the lead, went over the grass and got himself a 1.5 second penalty, running P3, 4.5 seconds behind Slugsy in P2. Shelty on the mediums in P4, be racing as well, mediums P5. Nick and Dashi, the medium tire runners. We have the soft tire runners and River coming out on a fresh set of softs again. So does Richie. What about Tess? He also started on the soft tire compound and is going for softs again. Still 1.7 between the top two during this race. Fuel and tire wear pretty similar at this stage, so not much separating. the Aston and the Supra. What can Oscar do? Can he bring that down? Another 47 incoming, so good lap times. Basically on the same level as Beetle and Slugs. So the top 6, they haven't pitted yet. They started on this medium tire compound, while we see the aggressive strategy, soft, and it will be another set of softs towards the end of the race for River and Richie. Oh, we have Nick. I forgot about Nick. He had a moment, lap 12. Look at that, 156.1. Oh, he's also running on the medium tires, so that wasn't ideal. I think lost a couple of seconds. The lap, maybe an off track somewhere. So Richie now right behind should get the McLaren driver before the Le Mans chicane. Should have way more traction coming out of the infield. He might have to wait. Yeah, he's not close enough, not gaining enough to go for the move before the chicane. So let's wait for the chicane then and focus on the run. Oh, he needs to back out. He had the run was too good, actually, and yeah, then he. Ideally now Richie with a bump draft from Nick. The gap already 6 seconds to River. We just got past the Dashi and the Beetle. Slugsy is closing the gap to Beetlejuice. We haven't seen him that close for a long time. A little bit of understeer through the chicane, so lost some time on the exit. And I'd reckon without any downforce adjustments that Supra should be a very strong car indeed, with the possibility like to change the aero setting. We see that the Aston is still a strong contender. Nevertheless, 5th gear and 6th gear in the Supra is really good still. So yeah, it looks to be like a two-dog fight for the win between Beetlejuice and Slugsy. Oscar doing the same lap times, cannot bring that gap down, and we see that the gap between Shelty and B Racing is now less than 2 seconds. B Racing with some good laps, 47s, that's yeah, matching the leaders. think just creeping into the slipstream range now for the remainder of lap 15. And have a look at the race timer, so 26.5 minutes in. Yeah, maybe it's a one stop on mediums for some of the drivers. Probably you get more performance over the distance out of the mediums compared to the softs. They seemed to be dropping off like towards the end of the tire stint. Yeah, be racing within slipstream range now. 1.3, another 47. River with the fastest lap, 46.6, but that's 7/8 per lap. Just the difference between the softs and the mediums. Richie caught up with Tashi. Pretty sure that we will see Tashi doing the one-stopper on the mediums. So how long can he defend? Leaves the inside open for Richie, and Richie takes that opportunity. And they're on a different strategy. So as well, Nick in the McLaren is still quite good on tires. Let's see if he will go for maybe a medium soft, but probably not. Taz and P6 also on that soft strategy so far. Tire wear, and now we see a bit of a difference between Beetlejuice and Sluxy. So the Supra has better tire wear on that front left compared to the Aston. Oscar is pushing 4 seconds now, also using a bit more of his tires, getting towards the halfway mark of this race. So the one-stop medium strategy runners, they might be looking at a pit stop at the end of this lap now. If they go for a bit longer, up to race minute 40, then they're going for medium softs. Richie got past the medium tire runners now. Well, that's quite some time to River. He was on the same strategy. They were separated by, I think, 2-3 seconds at max, maybe, before the pit stop. Now it's up to 7 seconds. And in they go. Okay, it's the medium one stop. What about Oscar? He's going for the overcut at least. He's maybe trying something here to extend the mediums and use the softs. But the rest of the drivers going for that medium. So we have a little bit of a difference in the strategies and between the drivers. Dashi going for long. It's not pitting yet. When this is close, Beetlejuice took more fuel. Did Slugsy under fuel on purpose? He gained probably up to a second, and during the pit stop both drivers are out on a fresh set of mediums. This is now really close. The gap to River 4.5, and to Oscar we have 25 seconds roughly. So looking at the tires, and Oscar with a personal best. So the car getting lighter, the tires still looking okay. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Oscar going for a medium to soft strat. Low 47. We see River Ruckus high 46.9 on softs on that last lap. So there's not much difference between Oscar and River. Indeed, Oscar was a bit faster last time around. A good outlap for Beetlejuice, 1.3, 1.4, that gap again. Richie in P5, Dashi in P6. So we have River, Richie, Dashi and Nick. They all need to pit again. E-racing completed, probably the scheduled pit stops, same as Shelty. During the pit stop, E-racing with a bit of a risky fuel strategy call. Way less fuel compared to Shelty behind, and Taz also on his second set of softs. We'll have to do one more on the softs as well for now. So take note at Oscar's lap times. Low 47s. Can he keep up with that pace? Mid 47 now. A slight drop off. Nothing too major still. I think as long as he keeps it in the 47s, it is good. Low 47 for Beetlejuice and Svaxion. The fresher mediums, but they have, of course, more fuel, so the car heavier. That's why even the worn mediums of Oscar's Corvette perform nearly as good as the fresh mediums. Interesting to see. Oh, just witnessed the Dashi is in. 25 minutes to go, so I don't think he's risking the softs again. Will be going mediums, probably. We have Taz then gaining a position for now. And yeah, it's mediums for Dashi in the Beetle, completing his pit stops. Next Pindo will open at roughly the 40-minute mark, and this should be for all of the drivers, including Oscar, River, Richie, out of the top 5. Yeah, fuel also getting lower in that Corvette. Still a mid 47, though. Once again, we see Beetlejuice and Slugsy running the same pace, 47 flat. Now for both drivers, 47.1 for River. Oh, it's basically now the same, on par between the warm softs and the fresh mediums. It's probably one more. Looking at the end of lap 22 for the next pit stops. Unless Oscar goes for an aggressive one now and pitting one lap earlier. A tire wear doesn't look too bad on that Corvette, to be brutally honest. But I think he should run with one more with that fuel, mediums, and then go on to the softs next lap. And yeah, staying out, starting lap 22. Nearly 20 seconds, still that gap to River, who's arguably on that final lap of the middle stint. On his softs. Into the 46s for Beetlejuice, 47.0 for Slugsy, lost the 10th. Still keeping the Finnish driver very honest. Richie low on fuel, tires not looking any good, but it will be the in lap as well for the Nissan. E-Racing and Shelty. When Nick is going for a very long stand on those mediums as well, so we'll be pitting and switching over to the softs soon. Tess with a little bit of a damage running currently. Something happened. So he has to pit, probably also at the end of this lap. Will give Dashi, I think. Yeah, definitely one position. Dashi maybe two. Let's see the gap to Nick. Could be close between them. So I expect Oscar now to pit. In he goes, and will be using the softs. River on his two-stop strategy. And should be paying his pit crew a visit now as well. In he goes. Was the gap big enough now for Oscar? Don't think so. He's just refueling this car now. So Beetle and Slugsy will jump him again. P1, Beetle, P2, Slugsy, P3. It's Oscar. 4.6 seconds. So now can he close that gap on his soft tires? Beetlejuice and Slugsy are running on the mediums. They went for medium. Oscar with a medium to soft strategy. B racing up to P4 after that unlucky race start. Shelty in P5. Also those two are running the one stopper on mediums. River Ruckus, 3-second penalty. That was an interesting pit entry, I reckon, or a pit exit. I don't know. Where did he cross the line? So that's probably P6 the best he can get. Richie coming out of the pits in P7s. Dashi moves up a position, P8. Nick now on the softs in P9, and Dashi completed the final pit stop of the race in P10. But let's stay with Sluxy and see the gaps to Beetle and Oscar. Towards the end of the lap, that gap comes down to 1.4, 1.5-ish. And Oscar not really gaining that much. Half a second maybe on the out lap. There he will get the first timed lap again after the pit stop. That was a good exit out of the International Horseshoe. So with that medium to soft strategy... Oh, there's a yellow flag. Oh, that's Taz. Getting out of the way. Still a bit distracting, I think, so Sluxy lost half a second. Really, so I was just touching upon the strategy medium to soft. Should give Oscar a really good look for competing for the fastest lap and getting some bonus points as well. This could be already purple. Let's wait until he crosses the line. It's a 45.9 here. It's probably a big challenge for the other soft tire runners. So looking at River Ruckus and Richie, who also went with the softs. 45.9. Wasn't the best lap. Oh, another yellow flag happened. Disappeared again. Oh yeah. Taz with front damage as well. So probably he caused that brief yellow flag. What's the time? 15 minutes and a bit to go, so we are expecting 33 racing laps. And Oscar definitely bringing that gap down to Sluxy. So once he's in within slipstream, might be wondering if they work together for a couple of laps to get into the slipstream of Beetlejuice. For now it's under 2 seconds. Oh, I think Beetlejuice had a penalty. No, he didn't. It was just a good lap, good run out of the chicane for Sluxy. Back to 1.4. When will we see the tire drop off for Oscar on his softs? For now, all good. He improved that fastest lap again, 45.7. Good acceleration out of the Western Horseshoe. Yes. Reached slipstream range, now officially getting a toe into the Le Mans chicane now. Less than a second. 2.7 to Beetlejuice in the lead, so It's on. One more lap and we might see a change between Sluxy and Oscar on track. This is still Supra territory. See that acceleration? It's crazy. Soft tires. Sluxy defending the inside line. I don't think it's good that they fight already. It's good for Beetlejuice, of course, yeah, but like not for both of the chase group. And better acceleration. Yeah, exactly. They should work together at least for the next 5 minutes. They need to catch up with Beetlejuice now. So don't go side by side. Just play it smart and fight until the end. Yeah, I think Sluxy needs that help from Oscar. But I don't think Oscar wants the help. He went high to avoid the strong slipstream, but he forgot about that Supra. It's just a rocket down the straight. So again, they have another side-by-side moment into turn number 1. Still, they gained on Beetle. It's close. It's really close. And maybe now the run out of the International Horseshoe. Sluxy not making it easy. I think it would be better the other way around. Sluxy should like give her that position, fall back behind Oscar, and use the pace out of that Corvette to get closer to Beetlejuice. So again, 1.5 it is. And this time it looked like a little bit of a bump dropped. Yeah, no. That's probably more like it. So push Sluxy for a little bit more. And yeah, now it's happening. You see the gap to Beetlejuice for Oscar, 1.3, 1.2. They will be within a second heading into turn number 1, starting lap 29. Righty. Here we go, a three-way fight for the win, 9 minutes to go. Oh, and this time Oscar with the better run. He gets his nose in front. But it's not over for Sluxy yet, so you know, like he has good top end, and with that slipstream on top, he might be the lucky guy in the end. Just needs to stay with Oscar now. Lost a little bit coming out of the traction zones. This is still like the weak point for the Supra, that low gear acceleration. He's still within that slipstream range and might get the run. 1.42 to Beetlejuice. The exit needs to be a good one. Yeah, it's okay. He should be fine. He gets a little bit of the toe. But that gap between Beetle and Oscar, half a second. Beetle, personal best. He knows, like, it's gloves off, game on for those last 4 laps, probably. The horseshoes are the bane for Sluxies. Probably losing too much time coming out of the slow hairpins every time. Yeah, made a little mistake now. And he's out of the slipstream range, heading into the Western Horseshoe, and Oscar now right up Beetlejuice's rear. So 3/10. 2 seconds to Sluxy, so make it a fight between the two championship. Oh, and Oscar sends it before a little more chicane. Maybe also a strategy call. Beetlejuice, he knows, like, he won't stand a chance without any slipstream. So now he's following the Corvette, getting the run, but maybe, yeah, interesting, like, can he make a pass on the Corvette if he's behind on that final lap? I don't think so. So would tell me, if Beetlejuice wants to win this, he needs to be in front of the Corvette coming out of the Le Mans chicane. Sluxy 2 seconds still behind, but losing traction out of the slow speed corners again. B-Racing and Shelty still having a nice little fight for P4, the two TCR drivers, P4, P5. River all by himself in the meantime in P6, and Richie P7. Bigger gaps between the drivers now. Dashi P8 under pressure. We have Nick, who is on the softs. Close that gap. Might get a run into turn number 1. Dashi going defensive. Who's late on the brakes? Dashi goes deep, maybe a little bit too deep into the... Yeah, get it stopped, and Nick moves up a position. So Sluxy 2.2. Don't think he can join that fight again unless there will be penalties for either Oscar or Beetle. So yeah, with 4/10 behind, the Aston barely gaining in the slipstream. And with 4 minutes to go, lap 32. It's 3 more. So we're looking at 34 race laps for the front runners. This could be close between Shelty and B-Racing for 3 more. Maybe just 2 between the two. Shelty with a nice little overtake heading into turn number 1. Let's see, fuel. Yeah, bit advantage for Shelty, so maybe the Racing needs to save a little bit. Wants to get that slipstream to be able to do so. 3 minutes to go. Still half a second between Oscar and Beetlejuice P1, P2. Just keep it clean now, don't get any penalties. This would be massive, I think, now at this stage of the race. Looking at the time remaining, so yeah, it's more than 2 minutes still, so it is 2 to go. 6/10. Sluxy trying everything, keeping it at 2 seconds. 46 again for Slux. Shelty and B coming around, and they will get also probably just to do 2 more. 47, 46. Ah, it's so close. Maybe they just get it. You have like usually 1 to 2 seconds, like when the game decides the race is over or not. So let's see, will they do 2 or just 1? Definitely the final lap for River and Richie. Nick and Dashi as well will be starting their final lap. Back to the race lead. It's 6:10, so Oscar slowly opening up a gap. Final minute. No, Beetlejuice can keep up in that slipstream, but cannot really close the gap anymore. Needs to have a massive run through the chicane. That was a good one. Gained a 10th already. More exit speed. Oh, this could be interesting. I think that gap is still too big if it was the last lap, so he wouldn't be close enough to get it. Here we go, final lap. Oscar and Beetle 3/10 separating the two us, then Sluxy P3. And will it be the run to the line between Shelty and B Racing? It's 10 seconds to go. They come around the final bend. Oh, there was a little bit of a contact. So who gets it, or will they have to do one more? It's over, and Shelty with the run. No, they have to do one more. Yeah, as expected. So the timer just went over, and it's no. So they're both low on fuel. I think B Racing is too low on fuel. No, we'll keep an eye on that. We need to go back to the race lead, of course. 4/10 now coming out of the infield section. Probably 3/10 coming out of the Le Mans chicane for Beetlejuice to have a chance somewhat. It stays at 4/10 for now. Now, for the final time through the chicane we go. Oscar steals a little bit. Good run for Beetlejuice. He gets the power down early. He has to run. It is 3/10. It is less than 3. 2.5. He has the slipstream. But does he have the legs? It is close. It is close. It is so close. And I think Oscar has the run to the line. He wins round number 3. Beetlejuice P2 and Sluxy P3. What about the two TCR drivers? Shelty versus B Racing. B Racing is really low on fuel. Shelty has 3/10 of a gap. I think Shelty will bring it home in P4 and B. Now he's making it just, I think, before line. He's running out of fuel now. P4 for Shelty, P5 for B. So River finished in P6 and then the game stopped the spectate mode, or rather right. Let's bring up the race results graphics and have a look. Oscar. That was close, the run, but with a victory. That was impressive after that unlucky moment with the 1.5 second penalty. So he got the victory and the fastest lap, so this will be another swing in the championship standings. So 11 points the gap between Beetle and Oscar. Now we should see Oscar retaking the championship lead after round number 6. Sluxy P3 getting some good points for the championship as well, and we'll have a word in the fight for P3. Shelty versus B Racing TCR battle, grade 2C to watch, a close one. So Shelty P4, B Racing P5. The top 5 all with a 1 stopper. Then we have the 2 stoppers, River, Ruckus and Richie, who did soft. P6, P7, Nick with a medium to soft strategy in P8. Ashley did medium P9, and Taz retired the car then in the final third of the race in P10. But well done, everybody. Once again, great racing here in the GT3 Cup. So that was round number 6. Let's bring up the calendar for. So next week it will be Red Bull Ring and then the season finale at Le Mans. It's still nothing is decided yet, and yeah, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So we have for the final 2 rounds tracks where it can rain in real life, and the game also supports dynamic weather with rain. So come on, give us at least one race throughout the season where we have a little bit of rain drama. That one. So yeah, until then, time to say goodbye from me. Take care, everybody. See you again next time. Love you all. Bye bye.